All right, welcome everybody to another simulation session. Today we're gonna be focusing on the London session mostly, and we're gonna also try to see how candles are formed based on the 4 hour time frames from the London session going all the way into the New York session. And while we're going to be visualizing the 4 hour candles, at the same time we'll be reading market structure on the 1 hour candles as well, because we want to see how the 1 hour candles they form the 4 hour candles as the momentum shifts from the London session to New York session. Normally, I wouldn't do this in a live market, but I think it's good practice in terms of how to read volume and momentum from London to New York session. So let's do this thing over here. Let's get our random dates here first. Random calendar dates. All right. So you got a black mouse, a little bigger. Hope everyone can see it. So we're going to start with January 2020. Actually, we'll go towards September 2019 because don't want to go too far back in history. So, and then we have 2020 right here. 2020. Oh, this is supposed to be 2019. This is supposed to be 2020. And yeah, I guess we're good. Let's only choose Sundays. And we want around 10 dates showing up here. Okay, so we got September 2019, we got 22nd December, then we got in 2020. Let's do September, right? Let's do 8th September. Let's do 8th September. Yeah, I think 8th September is pretty good. So we're gonna go to our data center. Everything's okay. Everything's good. We're gonna go to new simulation. Choose pound yen. We're gonna go towards September 8th. And we're gonna start with, let's start with 1,500 pounds, right? That seems like a pretty good, reasonable number there. 1,500 pounds. Time is going to be of New York close. Leverage, let's say we're using 1 to 500 leverage. History on charts is going to be around 200 days. 200 days on the charts. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we gotta load these charts over here. We're gonna get the weekly. We're gonna get the daily here. So slowly we're gonna load up all these charts here. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute. In this simulation, I'm not sure if we're gonna be looking at the 15 minute or not. But we'll see what happens. That's 15, 30, 1 hour. This is the 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly. Perfect. Awesome, awesome. Gotta load up our templates here. This will be pretty interesting because if we're going to be looking at the 4 hour time frames, we're going to get like pretty nice moves here. So, all right, let's jump towards the London session. 1 to 500 leverage, is it not too big? That's very normal leverage. Okay, so gaps, right? So first of all, what we see is a gap over here. So we gotta understand why we have this gap. So basically, if we zoom in here, this is the 4 hour time frame. We can see that. Let me just bring my line studies here. So we can see that there was a support formed in this area right over here, right? We had a support formed, and when this support was formed, that's when the market closed on Friday, and then now the market is opening right over here around 131. And over the weekend, what basically happens is price is always moving, right? Price is always moving. The only thing that we don't see is that over the weekend, right? Because the brokers are closed at the time. So basically what happens is you have price moving in the market, and brokers, they basically show you the price, live price from the market, right? Whenever they see the live price, they show you the price. So over the weekend when price was moving, it seemed like over the weekend we broke below the support and we went down over here. So when the market opened, this is where the price was, and broker said, well, Mr. trader, this is the price we see right over here. So this is the price we got. So that's why gaps happen. Gaps happen because price is moving over the weekend, which we can't see. And when there's a considerable change, that's when we see a gap. Let's just show the ask line. All right, there we go. We're going to show the ask line here. We're going to show the ask line here. All right, perfect. So you can see the spread is pretty big, right? It's around 7 pips. All right, let's go towards the. We're gonna go closer to the London sessions. Okay, so first thing I kind of wanna look at over here is now, since this was a previous support, we want to see that if price broke below the support, is it going to retest this area to continue down, or will it come back in this range and kind of move back up in this range, treat this area as like a support then, right? Because it now forms resistance, breaks up, becomes support to probably continue moving up. So we're going to take a look at that. Oh, see 4-hour close back in the range. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, we're doing something like retest here. Let me just scale fix this here. Yeah, right over here, right? 1-hour candle closed bearish. So now we want to see if it's going to continue down, or will this little support area will make this candle reject to continue going up. We're not trading at this point. We're just kind of like looking to see how price action will play out, because we're waiting for our London session. Okay, so candles are closing smaller, which means there's no volume, and even if you look at the time, this is well past Asian session. So what we're going to do is we're going to go towards pre-London. Pre-London is going to be around, I would say, 900 hours, something right over here. So this is 1 a.m. Eastern, right? This time right over here. This is 1 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to start with 1 a.m. Eastern, and then we're going to go all the way towards New York session, right? So let's take a look at the daily here. Now, this is a time when we're going to do some analysis now. So looking at the daily, the first thing we see is that the previous daily candle basically rejected a resistance area. Let me just scale this over here. So previous daily candle seems like it rejected this resistance. And this new daily candle is forming. Now notice how this new daily candle only moved bullish, right? It didn't really move bearish at all. So if it's trying to move bearish, maybe this is going to be a opportunity where it can continue moving down, right? Because it hasn't really made like a lower wick, so we're suspecting that if the volume is bearish, maybe it's going to move down to create like a lower wick. So let's take a look at that idea on the 4-hour time frame. So looking on the 4-hour, we saw that there was a gap when the market opened, and what we can see now is that the 4-hour candles are basically respecting the support that was made, and now they're trying to continue moving down. And as it's coming down, we can see that there's a support level right over here. So we're gonna clone this support level over to the 1-hour time frame, right? And now what we have to see is that if price breaks this support, how far can price fall? So if price can break the support, maybe we have this 400 pip range right over here, all the way down towards 13600. So maybe that's going to be an area where price may come into. Right, so at this stage we'll have to wait a little bit on the smaller time frames to break below, and then maybe try to execute on the higher time frame. So let's clone this over to the 30-minute time frame here as well, and let's take a look what's happening here. Looking at the 30-minute, we're at the same support area right over here. At the same time, before the support, we also have this range, right? This is a very dirty range. This is a 34 pips, but you can see how there is this minor resistance here in the way. And if price will have to go up, it'll need to break above this resistance and then continue to go up. And that's going to be also around like 13, 14 pips. So it's not enough range. So for buying, I don't think it's a clear range for buying because you have a lot of consolidation here. I think the only thing we can see for buying is if on the 4-hour time frame, we can see a candle closing back above 131,300. If you look at the price on the right hand side, that's going to be the only reason we can say a price can go back up. But for it right now, it just seems like we're at the support area, and we'll have to wait to see how price acts in the support area and see where we can go. So let's start this and see if we're going to break down or what's going to happen here, because we got the support area right over here. So if we were to visualize the 4-hour time frame, we would want to visualize it to break below the low and then continue moving down because we have clean traffic here through the left-hand side. And as we think that the 4-hour candle should continue moving down, breaking the low, that would mean that we'll need confirmations on the smaller time frames, like on the 1-hour time frame, on the 30-minute time frame. So what I'm thinking is that if we start breaking below these lows, then I think we can continue moving down. So yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good idea here. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how we kind of break. So still at the support here. We have around 9 minutes past at this point. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, still pretty good. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, still at the support. Can you open the session tab? Wait, hold on. Can you open the session tab as you go about the simulation, please? Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. So it's this session tab is going to distract me, so I'm not going to open it. I'm going to leave it closed, but I'm going to look at the time. At 10:00 hours, it's going to be London Open. So that's the time I have in my mind. All right. So right now, price is doing nothing here. We have around 15 minutes past. We're still in this range. Ideally, if price is going to go down, we want it to break below the lows to continue down. If it's going to continue going up, I would say we would need like a strong bullish momentum candle to push it up. So that's what we're going to wait for here. Either we're going to wait for a break below or we're going to wait for a break above, 131,380 to continue moving bullish. Oh, some people talking about some lags. I'm not sure about that. Not sure if there's lag or not. I think restart it. So we got this 30-minute candle about to close here. 30-minute candle is about to close in 6 simulation minutes. Now we're breaking the low here, right? We're breaking the low on the 30-minute time frame. And if we were to enter at this point, we don't know whether this 30-minute candle will close back in the range or will it close below this support to continue down. We don't know that. We also got 4 minutes left, so it's very important to wait for the candle to close. It's extremely, extremely important to wait for this candle to close. And it's about to close in 3 simulation minutes and 2 simulation minutes. Speed it up a little bit so that we can see the close. And there we go. Candle has closed bearish. It's closed deeper into the support. Now, if this next candle starts breaking the low, that's going to be the opportunity for price to continue down. And I think we're going to have a pretty clean trade at that point. So it's pretty awesome. So looking at the 30-minute time frame, visualizing it on the 4-hour time frame, and then looking at the 1-hour time frame to continue going bearish here. So we got to wait for the 30-minute candle to start breaking the support. Start breaking the low of the previous candle right at this point. It's a very delicate situation at this point because it's slowly moving into a high volume time on the London session, pre-London session. Ooh, not breaking yet. We got about 15 minutes left for this candle to close. 15-minute candle has closed at this point. And nothing yet. Nothing at all. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. 15-minute is also creating a support. Now, 15-minute is pretty good because now when we look on the 15-minute, we can see that we're creating a support over here. So all we need to do is to wait for the support to break, and then price can probably continue down. But yeah, we're just waiting at this point. We got about 10 minutes left for this candle to close. Is this being recorded? Yes. Imagine we did webinars and they weren't recorded. How would everyone feel? Probably not good, right? We're like, man, this guy does webinars and not even recorded. Come on, man. Shit. Is that what you think we do here? No, we record all webinars. All right, perfect. So candle is closed. We formed a support over here. We're basically ranging at this point. We're slowly. So this is the London Open at this point, right? If you look at the session times, this is the London Open at this point. So London Open has begun over here. We basically came down, created a support. Now we're in this range over here. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, we're in this messy range. So for price to move up, we need to break about 131,370. And as we break about 131,370, we're expecting price to continue moving within this range, right? So in a way to say that even though if we had this resistance here, we're expecting price to move because we're moving into a very high volume time right now. So this is the London Open at this point. People ask all the time this. Oh yeah, that's okay. I don't mind answering questions at all. Okay. Yeah, so we're just waiting over here. This is the first 4 minutes of the London Open. So we have to wait. We have to wait to see if we're gonna break. Oh, we're coming down. We're slowly about to break the low. And as we continue down to break the low, we're going to take an impulse entry here for price to continue down. Because look, this is where the 30-minute candle is going to break the low on the previous 30-minute candle, which will tell us that, okay, like, you know what, now price can start to continue down. So that's the trade that we're looking to take at this point with volume, and momentum. So this is going to be a textbook impulse entry here. We're just waiting. We're waiting for it to come down a little bit more. Oh, coming down to break the low. We're breaking the low here slowly. There we go. We've broken the low over here. So we're going to go with our risk percentage. We're going to do 1% risk. Normally, I'm going to do 2% risk. But since this is an impulse entry, we're going to go ahead with a 1% risk, right? We're going to risk like 50%. So stop is going to be around. Oh, wow. It's going to be. So now look at this, right? This is going to be a pretty big stop right over here. This is going to be a 20 pip stop, and we're looking at around like a 33 pip gain, right? So now what we got to do is we have to see if we can really reduce the stop loss, and probably not. We can't really reduce the stop here because I was looking to see on the 15-minute if we can have like a small stop loss, but we can see here 15-minute candle is about to close in about 4 minutes. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take an entry over here and we're going to put our stop at around 15 pips at this point. The reason I'm not having it above this candle, because since we're breaking the low, I'm not expecting this candle to continue and retrace all the way up over here, back in the range. We're expecting it to continue down with volume since we're breaking the low. So let's bring our trade over here and let's bring our profit loss in pips at this point. So beautiful, we've broken the low. We should continue down. 15-minute candle is about to close. As the 15-minute candle is going to close, we're probably going to tighten up the stop here a little bit. And this is the volume time. We're up about 6 pips, 7 pips, 3. Oh, coming back up. 15-minute candle is about to close. We got the 15-minute candle closed at this point. We look at the 15-minute candle. It's closing bearish pretty soon. There we go. 15-minute candle closed bearish. 30-minute candle still open. We've broken below the lows. Very high probability for price to continue down. And I think we're going to get our pips over here at this point, because we're also moving in a high volume time at this point now. So we're about, you can see the spread is about 2 pips, 2 pip spread. Wow, man, spread is pretty wild over here. You got 2 pip spread, 2.2, 1.9, 1.8. There we go. We got around 10 pips at this point. Going to close partial positions. Actually going to close 80% at this point over here. Close 80%. Move stops to break even. And yeah, that's about it. Where would you move your stop loss to in this example? So looking at the 15-minute. Yeah, I think it's good. Now, since this since the 15-minute candle has broken the low of the previous 15-minute candle, would want to have my stop above this 15-minute candle right over here. Actually, let's just move our stop above the 15-minute candle right over here. Because since it's broken the low, we're expecting it to continue down and not come up to, like, kind of like hit our stops here at break even and whatever. So yeah, pretty nice trade. Now, if it continues to go down, amazing trade. If it goes up, then, it is what it is. But this was the London Open here, and I'm pretty happy with the first trade on London Open is a profitable trade here. Haven't really traded London session. because expect to respect the 15-minute high. Yeah, exactly. So now, see, this is the 30-minute candle forming at this point. Now, if you want this 30-minute candle to continue bearish, you don't want it to continue. Well, it can come up now. I mean, if we get stopped out, it's totally fine because we've secured our positions at this point. But from a technical perspective, what you want to do is you want to see if we're going to reject this area to continue down or not, right? So if you look at the 15-minute time frame, see this 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle has broken the high of the previous 15-minute candle. So if we're looking at from a retest perspective, we want it to print another bearish candle over here for price to continue down. And if we look on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the 4-hour candle is about to close in about what, 2 hours here. So who knows, man? I mean, if it closes below the support, I think the next 4-hour candle moving into New York, we can continue moving down. But if we close back above support, right, then there's a very high probability that the 4-hour candles can continue moving bullish. So let's take a look on the daily. Daily is also bullish. We basically came down. Okay, let's take a look at the daily candle right over here, right? If we look at the daily market structure here, what we can see is that price formed support, moved up, created a resistance here, came down. Maybe it's like retesting this area to continue move back up. You know, maybe, you know, we don't know. Maybe on the daily time frame, it looks like a structure like that. So if we want daily to do that, probably we want the 4-hour candles to maybe close back above support and move up, but who knows? So we'll still have to wait for the 4-hour candle to close. So that was one trade over here, and now price is going to go back up in the range, and we're going to see what happens here. What's this here? I think it's important to not move your stop loss once you place it. I fell victim to this once upon a time. Yes. Would you take another trade when candle closed bearish after rejection at resistance? Yes. So we're going to execute on mostly all opportunities over here for learning purposes. So you can see here, right? The 1-hour candle, it's not basically closing below this. I mean, look, you got 15 minutes left. If you look on the 30-minute time frame here, 30-minute candle went up, basically no confirmation for sell. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, same idea here, right? No confirmation for sell, just going straight up. So there's no trade at this point. There's absolutely no trade at this point. Can you use IC markets in Canada? No. Let's just focus on, let's please focus on this simulation. You know, if you want to talk about something else, maybe we have other time to talk about that, but we're going to focus on over here. Like imagine doing a simulation, I started talking about movies. Oh, did you guys see the new James Bond movie? Yeah, so this candle's about to close. This 1-hour candle's about to close. Let's speed it up here a little bit. All right. Let's see. Oh boy, it's coming back up over here. We got a resistance right up over here around 131.380. It's coming right back up. And we want to see now this candle is about to close. Let's take a look at some news over here. Do we have any news? We have news. We have GDP news. They're expecting good numbers here for GDP, but here manufacturing production, they're expecting bad numbers. So we're going to wait and see over here. Looking at the daily time frame, it is what it is daily, right? 4 hours is important because look, now 4 hours coming back in the range, and if the 4-hour candle breaks above this area right over here, 131, 360, 340, price is going to go, there's a very high probability we're going to continue moving up because look, right, we had pre-London, we had volume in pre-London, we had volume in London session, right? So what did the volume do in pre-London and London session? This is really important. We went down and then we closed back up in the range. So if we're closing back up in the range during a high volume time after doing this breakdown, maybe this breakdown was a fake out, right? And if this breakdown was a fake out, this means that price broke support, it tried moving down, it couldn't move down and came back up in the range. So if it came back up the range and it couldn't move down, where else will it go? Right? There's a very high probability it's going to go up, but we need confirmations it's going to go up, right? And that confirmation we're going to get if we close above, 131, 370. And in hindsight now we can see that, okay, like, even if it starts to go up, we have this rejection here, we have this rejection, this rejection, this rejection, and then our main resistance target is right over here. So we're anticipating price to come up to this resistance target, which is 131,700. And with that anticipation, we're also keeping in mind that if price is going to go up, it will break through these minor zones with volume because we're moving in the high volume time. If this was the case in the Asian session, I'd be a little bit skeptical of that. But this is, since it's London session moving into pre-New York, I think there's going to be a very high volume here. And if you get an opportunity to take a buy, I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So yeah, what we're targeting over here is probably price to move through all these zones and come up towards 131,700. Let's plot that out on 30-minute time frame. 131,700 right over here. All right. Let's just wait here. Some questions are coming in, and I'm going to deliberately ignore all questions because you guys have to be patient because all questions are going to be answered. Oh, wow. There's some strong volume coming in over there. Yeah, so this is the start of this 4 hour, this new 1 hour candle. And this is also the last, this is the last hour for this 4 hour. That's what we're looking at this point. This is the last hour of the 4 hour. So wow, look at that. See, price went up. This is where people make mistakes, right? Price moves up, you take buys. Oh yeah, we're moving up. And then price moves back down. You know, so we got to be patient at this point here. This candle is about to close. 30-minute candle is about to close. And there we go. 30-minute candle has closed. And look at the spread. Look at the spread over here. 4.7 pips. Look at these ask lines over here. Can you take a trade? No, man. This is news at this point, right? There's no trade at this point over here. This is all news. So we're gonna wait to see how this news plays out because, man, the spread is way too high. Wow, look at that. That's GOAT Forex with them spreads. Yeah, so I mean the spreads are pretty high at this point here. So we're going to wait for this hour to close. It's the best practice. This is around an hour before pre-New York, and we're going to wait for this hour to close. We're coming up to this resistance here, 131,700. Let's see what happens over here. Oh, this is breaking above this area here. Wow. Insane moves here for GJ. That's the new 4 hour candle starting right over here. 1 hour candle is also ending. 1 hour candle is also closing above this area. We have the 30-minute candle also closing above this area. So since we're closing above this resistance level, now we can say that, okay, now there's a high probability for price to continue up to maybe, you know, fill this wick over here, which is like 25 pips away. And if you look on the daily time frame, daily candles also coming up above now towards this resistance here. Looking on the 4 hour, 4 hours also, now it seems like we're going to continue up to retest this area, 131,950, because, you know, this was a high made and price came down and now it's coming up. So now we got to see is that how can we look at that. We also got the weekly wick fill over here. So let's take a look. How can we position ourselves to take a position to go up? Or will we get that position on the New York session time frame? So let's just wait. Oh, yeah, there was no confirmation. Probably on the small time frames, but we didn't want to look at the small time frames. We want to look at the confirmations on the 4 hour and the 1 hour time frame. Wow, a lot of volume here today. This thing is just moving really, really quick. So you had the retest, right? Yeah, there was a retest, but the stops were too big. We're focusing on stop losses, you know, good stop losses. So we need some sort of like a retest or some sort of like a consolidation market structure to say that, okay, now we can continue moving up. The 30-minute candle has closed at this point. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, the only thing we have on the 15-minute time frame is a candle closing bearish over here. And if we can get the next candle break above the high, I think that could mean that, okay, now price can continue moving bullish. Let's get the ask line over here as well. Yeah, perfect, right? So we had this retest down over here. Also, we have this resistance formed up over here. And yeah, let's just take a look here on the 30-minute time frame here as well. So if we break above the 30-minute, so 30-minute is closing exactly at this previous resistance. So if we get a break above, I think that could warrant the fact that, okay, price can still continue to move bullish here. So that's going to be a break above on the 15-minute time frame for price to move bullish. Perfect. It's going to be another impulse entry. The stop is going to be below the 15-minute candle, so we're going to try to see. Oh, we're breaking above the high over here. So a stop is, man, a stop is going to be pretty big. It's going to be a pretty big stop. But also if we're breaking above the 30-minute, let's take a look on the 4-hour here, right? If 4-hour continues to go up, we need to take a look left to see how far can price move, you know. So basically what we see on the left-hand side is that there's a resistance formed at 132,400, right? We all can agree to the fact that there's a 132,400. That's around like 36, 35 pips away. So if we map that out on the 1-hour time frame, we have it going all the way up over here to 132,400 is going to be somewhere right over here. Right, this is the area we're targeting based on a 4-hour time frame. We're breaking above the 15-minute candle. Probably is going to be another. Let's do okay. Probably going to increase the stop here a little bit. So this is just for explanational purposes, right? Now we want the stop loss to be below the 15-minute wick over here, but since we're breaking above the high at this point, we're not anticipating price to continue down to break below this wick to continue moving up. You know, so we're anticipating if we're breaking above the high, we're also breaking above the 30-minute time frame right over here. You know, right over here, we're breaking above the high here. There's a very high volume looking on the 4-hour time frame as well. We have clean traffic to the left-hand side moving all the way towards 132,400. So yeah, let's see how this plays out over here. Oh, okay, 21 pips. Hold on there. It moved pretty fast. It moved in about a minute over here. So we're going to close 80%. We're going to close 80% at this point. And we're going to put stops at break even. And that's it. Do you take into consideration those wicks to the left? No, because there's a lot of volume at this point. So we're anticipating volume to push price up. So in the 4-hour as well, we broke above. 30-minute also broke above, and we got that first push. I think that was in about a minute. We got that push, secured positions, and yeah, now we got the stops at break even and let the rest run. Let's see how far is it going. Oh, did we tap 400? No, we didn't tap 400. This hour is about to close. We got the hour close over here. Looking at the 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle is also closed. Now see this structure on the 15-minute, right? This candle closed like a booby trap candle. Next candle broke above the high. We had stops down over here. Now we have the same situation at this point right over here. We're getting almost the same situation here. So now we will see now, since we're already in this trade, we're anticipating that if we start breaking above this high, then price can continue moving bullish. You know, so this is pre-New York. This is normally when we're coming through the charts at this point, you know, and looking at the 30-minute time frame, we have this 30-minute wick to fill. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, we can also continue to go up. But taking buys at this point, it becomes risky. And the reason why it becomes risky is because price has already moved a lot. You know, so if we're looking on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, we still got that range to fill over there. So since price has already moved a lot at this point, I think in the New York session, you would probably want price to create some sort of a support and then continue moving up, right? But I guess the 15-minute is just going to continue breaking above the highs over here to continue bullish. Yeah, it's going to continue bullish. Oh, there we go. Our target is reached 132,400, right? We broke above the high. This would have been a really good New York session trade. Moved about like 28 pips. We look on the 4-hour time frame. We've tapped at these highs over here, and yeah. So I guess if we were paying attention in New York, this would have been the entry right over here when we were talking about it. It's breaking the high to continue bullish. We also got this wick to fill here. Let's zoom out here on the 1-hour time frame. Oh yeah, we have reached that resistance area to the left-hand side. Kind of like stabbed deeper into that zone, but still worked out pretty good. So probably going to close. Probably just close this trade over here. So Monday, 2% gain, took 2 trades, 1 sell over here, and then really waited for the buys later on when we saw some sort of a market structure we identified. And right now. So we can see how the volume, it moved from London session and moved all the way towards New York session, right? And then once we started breaking above this resistance on a smaller time frames, we identified where price can move up to, and that move up to was at 132, 400, and we're at that level now. So let's move on to the next day over here, and let's actually move forward by 1 hour candle and see what happens here. Oh, so we're just ranging at this point here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we're just ranging at this point here. Awesome. Let's move on to the next London session. Quick. So this is 8, and this is 9. Oh, this is not 9. This is 2 a.m. Eastern. And when I say 2 a.m. Eastern, this is 1 hour before the London Open over here. So let's remove all analysis here. So daily candle has actually broken above this resistance. It's moving bullish. And now we want to see how far can it move up to. So the first thing we see looking left is this wick over here. So we're kind of like asking ourselves that, okay, is price going to come up to fill this wick, which is around how far away? 47 pips away, around at 133. Let's take a look at that idea on the 4-hour time frame. So in the 4-hour time frame, what we can see here to the left-hand side is this area right over here, 133. Is this 133? Yeah, almost 133, right? We got 133 right over here. So in the 4-hour time frame, we have some sort of a market structure forming. And what this market structure is saying is that, let me just remove this rectangle here, kind of zoom in here a little bit. And let's take a look here now. We basically have this support formed on the 4-hour time frame, and this means that if price is moving up, it's forming a bearish candle here, which means that we're creating a resistance at this point. If we're creating a resistance at this point on the 1-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, then maybe we can see some sort of a retracement and then continuation. That could happen. So let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame here. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, we're basically ranging at this point. I mean, price action is not the best. We have support down over here. We have a resistance formed right over here. I mean, it's not the best at all. I mean, look at this. It's like 35 pips, and it's not clean at all. So let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame and see what's going on. On the 30-minute time frame, oh man, it's even horrible. It's even worse on the 30-minute time frame. So I guess we'll need to see a break above. Can we see a break above? Yeah, we'll need to see a break above 132,720 for price to move up. So yeah, let's just wait for that. When our candles are forming now, we are 1 hour away from the London Open at this point. And we're looking for clean ranges, right? The first thing I see is if we break below the support, price can continue down, but the next support we see is around 12 pips away. So it's not going to be a good sell over here. I think a really good sell is going to be below this area right here, because then we can target this wick over here, which is like 28 to 30 pips away. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good sell, because this is just madness. It's just not clean range at all. So there's no trade at this point. This is a 30-minute candle close. 30-minute candle is starting at this point. New 30-minute candle. If we're anticipating price to continue moving bullish, and at that point, I think we have this minor resistance over here. And if we have this minor resistance over here, and if we break above this area, there's like a 15, 16 pip range. I don't think that's enough range for price to move in. So we'll have to wait a little bit here for price to actually break and close above. See, now we're coming up to this resistance here. There's no FOMO over here. There's nothing, because this range was small. Now what we're going to see is we want to see if we can really break above this area to continue moving bullish or not. That's what we're looking to see at this point. We're also moving close towards the London Open. This candle is going to close in about 15 minutes. Oh, wow. Crazy. Really have a lot of volume over here. Looking at the London session after years, now it's amazing me, man. So much volume in the London session. So this candle is about to close here, and we're going to look on the 4-hour time frame how these candles are going to start closing. We're breaking above, we're coming close towards 133, and yeah, let's just see over here. Because there was no confirmation to take buys, because this range was small. It's like a 15 pip range, so we want bigger ranges. So perfect. Candle has closed at this point. we have closed above this area. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, we closed above. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, let's move here. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, we also closed above. Now, we can't take a buy at this point, right? If you look at the previous 15-minute candle example we looked at, it was pretty clean. It was clean because, we had this 15-minute candle had a wick at the bottom. Right over here, there's no wick at the bottom. So even if you take a buy over here, we don't know where our stop is going to be, right? I mean, this 15-minute low is just right there, so it's not going to be a good idea to take a buy. I think a really good idea would be to have a candle closing above this area and then taking a buy on that confirmation. So probably going to wait. Looking at the 4-hour here as well, it kind of like moved up to that 133 area. Not quite, but still, 10 pips away from that. Looking at the 1-hour time frame here, 1-hour time frame is closing above this area, but we need some sort of a candle closing above that area to say that, okay, now we can continue moving bullish. Oh, wow, look at that. We're coming back down. 15-minute candle didn't break the high, we didn't break the low, and we're coming back down at this point. I mean, yeah, now we're just waiting over here. We got this support here, and then we also got this minor support over here, man. This price action is getting very difficult now. So when price action gets difficult, just gotta wait. We're coming back in the range. I find it difficult to work on the retest of highs and lows strategy during London Open because Asia is usually consolidation. Suppose it's good to focus on breakout of structure. It's good to focus on just one way the market moves. If you're going to focus on the breakout of structure, just keep focusing on the breakout of structure until you really, really understand it. The problem comes when we start focusing on one thing and then something else shows up. We start focusing on that one thing, and then it's a lot of confusion at that point. So understanding one way market moves, it takes it takes about 2 months. A month to 2 months it takes, because you have to wait for the same situation to keep happening over and over and over again. So that's where time takes. Wow, this thing is coming back down to the support. So remember, we need to break the support at 132, 179 for price to continue moving down. This candle is also about to close, so we're going to wait to see how this candle closes over here. We're breaking below this area over here now too. A lot of volume here, a lot of volatility. This candle is about to close, and how it's coming down to a close is going to be pretty good. Perfect. So we closed below the support. Looking on the 4-hour, we basically rejected that whole area over here. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, wow, man, crazy move past all this consolidation area. So perfect. We're at this level here. All we need is this low to break for price to continue down to fill this wick, and then eventually, continue falling more if it has to. So I guess we'll have to wait over here. Oh, we're coming down here slowly. Are we gonna break below this low or? Perfect. We're breaking below this low. Probably gonna have a stop above this current 30-minute candle, which is going to be around 15 pips, and anticipating price to continue down towards this level right over here to fill this wick, and then eventually start to continue further moving down. Okay, so this 15-minute candle is about to close over here. And since we're running in drawdown at this point, let's take a look at the 15-minute candle here. So this 15-minute candle is about to close. And if it starts breaking its own high, see the way it's moving, I'm not comfortable with the way it's moving at this point. So since I'm not comfortable with the way it's moving at this point, this is a good idea to maybe close partial positions. I'm going to close actually 70% at this point because I'm not liking the way it's moving at this point, especially when it's coming down to a close, because if it's closing in about 2 minutes, seems like it's rejecting that area. So it doesn't make sense to hold on to this trade because, the confidence level is not there. So now the new 15-minute candle has started. The 30-minute candle, yeah, see that rejection? A huge rejection over there. So we're not sure whether we're going to reject that area or are we going to start to close back above this area. Because now, if we look at this area right here, right? We had a lot of consolidation here before. This is really important. We had a lot of consolidation here before, so as price was coming down, we didn't know whether price will react to this support or this support or this support. We don't know that. But since price moved down, now we have a clean range, right? So if this candle closes back above, let's say 132, 180, then we have this clean range, and we can say that okay, if we're closing back in the range, we can have an easy time for price to move back up in this range because now we have a clean range formed over here. Before we didn't have the clean range. So that's why I think it's really important to wait. So I think at this point we could probably change our bias if price closes back in the range. So if you're looking at the 15-minute time frame, we're breaking above the high of the previous 15-minute candle. So at this point we're going to close this trade because there's no reason to hold this trade. So let's take a look at the news over here. We got some news. We got some very, very like weak news over here. So we're gonna, I think it's gonna be pretty good if we close back above this range over here. Looks like it's gonna be a fake out. We're closing back. We're coming back in this range here. The candle's about to close. Oh, candle closed bullish. And next candle just formed bullish. Yes. So now the tides have tilted here just like the previous day. You remember this day right over here where we had price, it did a fake out and then continued back up in the range. This is the same exact situation happening right over here. Right? You guys remember this? Price went down, we took sells, came back up, and then moved back up. This is the same situation happening here. Price moved down, broke support, and now if it's coming back in the range, I think there's a very, very high probability we're going to continue moving back up. But now all we need to do is to see where we can take good entries. What about waiting for a minor resistance to be formed for the low to be retested? There is no low because we're closing back in the range. But there's no confirmation here to take the buy. We just need some confirmations for price to continue going back up. Probably like a retest of this area would be pretty good if you can get that. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. So this candle is about to close. 15-minute candle is also coming down. We're not looking at the low to be retested, but we're looking at this area because we're basically closing back above this range. So we need to figure out how we can enter a trade for a buy position here. This candle is coming to a close here in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, coming down, going up, coming down, going up. And there we go, candle has closed. Let's take a look on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour candle also closed bullish. Looking on the 4 hour time frame, 4 hour candle closed bearish. Now, see this, we waited for the 4 hour candle to close. So now when we're looking on the 4 hour candle, we can see that the 4 hour candle went down to the support and it closed above this support. So if it's closing above the support, there's a very high probability we can say that, okay, we're kind of like rejecting the support. And if we're rejecting the support, we can anticipate the smaller time frames to continue moving bullish at this point. And that's what we're going to look at here on the 1 hour time frame right over here, right? So if we're closing back above the support, I think there's a very high probability we're going to continue moving up. And also this 1 hour candle is closing back above bullish over here, looking at a 30-minute also. Now, here's the thing. Even though we know that the 1 hour candle has a higher probability to go bullish here, right? We know that for sure. But now we have to identify where the stop loss is going to be on the 30-minute time frame. If we have a stop below this previous 30-minute candle, it's a very, very tight stop loss. We can't have it there. We want it, our good stop is going to be below this 30-minute candle, which is around 27 pips, right? So I think it's going to be a good idea to maybe have it around like 17 pips, 18 pips, because if we have it at like 17 pips, like down over here, we're not expecting price to break the previous low, come down, break the zone, and then go all the way down. We're not expecting price to do that. If price is going to do that, then that means we can go down. But if price doesn't break below this level, I think we should still be good to go up, even if we now look on the 1 hour time frame here. So we're risking about 1% here, and yeah, we're going to see if we can get that move or not. Let's bring out the trades. We're moving 6 pips, 7 pips. We got the 1 hour wick fill here. Actually, we can get that 1 hour wick fill right there. We're getting 1 hour wick fill here. It's like 11 pips over here now. 12 pips, 11 pips. I'm gonna close, let's close 50% and let's put stops at break even and let the rest run. So this was just kind of like the same scenario we had in the previous trade we had, where price did a fake out, now it's coming back up. This candle's about to close. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, we're kind of like coming back down. So now we need to respect this low over here, and then to continue moving back up on the 30-minute time frame. So we also secured positions at the right time. How do you determine what percentage to close? It's up to you. Sometimes you want to close 50%, you close 50%. Sometimes you want to close 90%, you close 90%. So this is the pre-New York now, and we're going to try to see if we can kind of like take some sort of another entry on pre-New York. And what we can see here in the 1 hour time frame here is that this candle, we had this candle break below support, this candle closing back above support. We have this candle closing bearish, weak bearish candle. This weak bearish candle does not mean we're going to go down. This means that there's low volume on the bearish side. This is a bullish candle now starting to form, and I think we can still continue moving back up now because we're actually respecting the support. And the only thing we got to do is, now if this is the New York session, we have to identify where we're going to put our stop losses if we're going to take a trade. So looking on the 15-minute time frame, I mean, I think even like a smaller time frame closing bullish would give us that confirmation to take an entry, or even the 30-minute would give us that good confirmation to take an entry. So we're going to wait over here. 15-minute candle is about to close in 3, 2, 15-minute candle is actually closed over here. Perfect. We got the 15-minute candle close. This is going to be another position that we would want to take. And let's take a look on the 4 hour here. So 4 hour just, forming at this point. We don't want the 4 hour candle to close below this area to continue moving up. So yeah, I guess it makes sense over here that if we're respecting that support, we can take an entry over here. Our stop is going to be around like 13 pips, 13. Let's do it at like 14 pips over here. So we're only risking 1% every trade, right? 15-minute candle has closed bullish, and we're expecting this 15-minute candle. Here's the thing. We're expecting this 15-minute candle to respect the low of the previous 15-minute candle to continue moving bullish. If it breaks the low over here, then we're going to close like 50%, and we're gonna still say that okay, there's an opportunity for price to go up. Looking at 30-minute time frame, the 30-minute candle is also about to close bullish. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, we are respecting that support to continue bullish, and yeah, I guess we're gonna let this trade run. As this candle comes to a close, 30-minute candle has come to a close over here, so probably gonna close partial positions again. At this time, let's close 80% because we want to secure the most we can and let the rest run at break even here. Wow, man, London session is pretty difficult. I'm having a hard time kind of like getting that confidence to read London session, but I guess with market structure, it kind of like makes sense here now too. So looking at the 1 hour, pretty good. Candle's about to close, closing bullish. 30-minute candle also went up to that area there, rejecting it. Yeah, it's good. Now we have a runner running. So if the runner keeps on running, I think it's going to be a pretty good opportunity to have like a really nice trade here for this runner. We're slowly moving into New York Open. We got 1 hour left. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. This runner is up 40 pips over here. So probably going to close another partial. Well, we have nothing left to close. Yeah, 1 cent lot left to close now. Pretty nice runner. Pretty nice runner. Would you trail stop loss now? Yeah, I would. I probably want to trail stop loss to below the 30-minute candle or below the 1 hour candle right over here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do now. So just let the rest run. London session has a lot of volume, and I think lower time frames are great to see reaction of price and rejections more clearly at levels. Yes, that's true. That is true. Wow. We've been on this simulation for an hour, and we've only done 2 days so far. It's going to be pretty lengthy Session over here. Oh, we're coming close. Oh, we got stopped out. Well, good thing is we secured, right? We secured up over there. We got stopped out, whatever. This is the New York Open over here. We're moving bullish. I guess there's a more opportunity for price to continue moving bullish over here. Let's see what the next candle does. Oh, we're rejecting that area. Interesting. All right, awesome. So let's move on to the next day over here. We're going to move on towards Wednesday. Oh, wow, we're moving up over here. Okay, okay, that's okay. So let's go towards 8 and 9. So this is 2 a.m. Eastern, right? 2 a.m. Eastern. We're coming up above towards the London session here. And what we got to identify is now what the weekly is doing. So weekly is continuing to go bullish. We have this range to fill probably here. This is where weekly might end up around 134, 490 because we got clean candle here. Looking at the daily time frame, daily also is now a clean candle vicinity. We may continue up towards, oh, what's this? We may continue up towards, this area here, 134. 134, 100 probably that's going to be a good target here. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour candle is also moving bullish here. Let's take a look to the left. Looking to the left, 4-hour has actually reached a wick area right at this point. And we don't know whether we're going to reject this wick area or not. But if we continue moving, same idea here on the 4-hour as well to move on to 133,900. So let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. We're still moving bullish over here. We have no idea what's going to happen here. So I guess we're just going to wait to see if we start rejecting, or ideally we would want to see like a retest of this area to continue moving up. That's what we would want to see. But at this point, buying at this point is extremely risky. Yeah, I think it's pretty risky buying at this point. Because we've already moved up way too high. Looking at the 15-minute time frame here as well, we're kind of like ranging at this point, but still, like buying at this point is going to be pretty risky. All right, we're coming down. My voice is also going here slowly. Hold on. All right, perfect. So 30-minute candle has closed bearish over here. I guess if you want to look at it from a counter trend perspective, right? If you look at it from a counter trend perspective, maybe if pricing creates some sort of a support, we can have price moving down in this 26, 27 pip range. If we create a support and if we break that support to continue down, that's something we can maybe anticipate, right? So look, so the 30-minute candle is now breaking above the high. Normally, I'd be taking a buy at this point, but I don't know, man. Something doesn't sit right here with me. So I'm probably gonna stay away from this point. Maybe because of that wick here on the 4-hour time frame, all the way to the left. If you look right over here, maybe that's the issue. But yeah, I'm probably gonna wait to see, because we're breaking above the high. And if we're breaking above the high, technically it should respect its own low and then continue moving bullish to at least, let's say 133, 440, 450, like around 15, 20 pips away. Yeah, but not really keen on getting in on this because of that wick rejection on the 4-hour time frame. But if this candle closes, I think the most amazing part of this candle close is going to be that we're going to make a support. So let's just see how this candle closes and if we do really end up making a support or not. Oh wow, we're coming back down. So this candle is about to close in 3, 2, 1. Candle has closed. We're moving into London session. And since we're moving into London session, the only thing we need to identify is to see on the 15-minute if we have some sort of support over here. So we do have some sort of a support over here. And we would need price to probably break below this area to say that now we can take a sell. But at the same time, we've also created a high over here. So if you measure this range, it's like a 20 pip range almost. So yeah, let's just see here. We want price to close below that area. Wow, look at the spread. Spread is okay, but man, a lot of volume here in London session. Crazy. For people who execute on the London session, man, you guys are cowboys. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Oh yeah, see, 4-hour time frame is rejecting that area right over there. So we gotta wait to see now. We gotta wait to see if we're gonna create a support, if you're gonna retest this area of support to continue up, or what's gonna happen. Oh, we're moving deeper. Yeah, there's no confirmations over it at this point because they are big candles, and we need big candles to form, because if we get big candles forming, that means we have clean ranges forming for the moves that may happen later on. So that's good if we get this clean candle form and we're getting these clean traffic here for the next moves. Because if we create a support over here, then we know there's a very high probability for price to move up. So perfect. Okay. So what we got over here is we had this rejection before. Price came down to this support. We didn't know whether price is going to break below the support and move down, or it's going to close above it. But it closed above support, which means we're closing above that. So we're basically rejecting that area right over here. So if we plan it out on the 15-minute time frame, right over here, right? We're closing above that area. So now there's a very high probability for price to continue up to maybe retest this high. So maybe if we can break above the 15-minute high, I think we can have price continuing bullish. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good idea. Oh, we're too late. We're too late. It moved way too fast. So this would have been an entry right over here when it broke above the 15-minute high for price to continue up towards, 133, 290, probably securing positions at around 133, 230. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I guess we can try to take an entry right over here and have the stops below the 15-minute candles. This is going to be around like a 13 pip stop, and we're going to take a buy position here, 1% risk, and really anticipating price to move back up now, because since we're breaking above the high, we're closing above the support, so it just makes sense. Perfect. We're about like 13 pips up. I'm going to close partial positions, going to close 80%. Actually, going to close 90% because we're approaching a resistance here, right? So we're going to close as much as I can, put stops at break even, and yeah, let the rest run. Perfect. Beautiful trade. Tiny trade moving up towards resistance there. We can see now we're moving up to this resistance area. We're about like 20 pips up. The reason we took this trade was not because of on the 4-hour, because 4-hour was basically rejecting that to continue down, but we also looked on the 1-hour time frame and we saw that, okay, if we're coming down to reject this area, we need candles to close above the support, right? So price moved up, made a high, came down, we wanted a support to be formed. This candle broke below this previous zone, closed back above it, and now this one candle went up. If we were only looking at the 30-minute time frame, we would have missed this move, right? But we looked at the 15-minute time frame, and looking at the 15-minute, we saw that this candle broke the high of the previous one. We basically missed it, but since price came back down, we got that opportunity to take that trade because we were rejecting support. There's bullish momentum, there's high volume at this time, and it worked out pretty nice. So now we're entering that resistance here again, probably going to take the entire profit here and yeah, let the rest run. So that was one trade for the London session here. That was actually a pretty good trade. Did you also consider the fact that 15-minute candle was at its second half? No, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that at all. I took the trade because of the reasons why we thought it's going to move bullish. And I guess there was a lot of momentum, so that pushed price as well. So yeah, right now, nothing. Right now, what we have is maybe like, if we can create, now we're basically creating a resistance here, right? We're creating a resistance here, and let's take a look at news. We got no news, nothing. So yeah, it should be a pretty simple move here. I mean, if we do create a support, then we can move back down, but overall, I think we just gotta wait now. Wow, look at this 1-hour candle. 30-minute candle coming straight back down. Look at this 1-hour candle also coming straight back down. So we're not sure if we're gonna, oh wow, look at that close right over there. Crazy. Man, London session is so crazy. So this candle is about to close. We're going to fast forward it. We're going to wait for this candle to close. This is also going to be a close of the 4-hour candle here too. So the 4-hour candles will also close about here in soon. We got about 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. We got the 4-hour candle close. If you look on the 30-minute time frame, we can see now we're ranging because all candles are printing side by side, so we're ranging. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame is a mess. I mean, we're creating this support area with this rejection, this resistance over there. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame is basically closing like a doji, and I'm not sure why it's closing a doji. Maybe it wants to move down or what, but yeah. So we're gonna see what happens over here. I think if we're looking for sells, we would need price to break below the support to continue down. Break below 132.970 for price to continue down. That's gonna be a pretty good idea. But yeah, so slowly we're going to move into pre-New York, and we're going to see if we can kind of like take a trade in pre-New York. Because look, right, we had momentum moving into pre-London, right? We had this London Open, this pre-London Open move coming down, and then we had the London Open move going up. So if price starts ranging over here, that means price is then waiting for next volume to come in. Probably that volume is going to come in with pre-New York, or it's going to come with New York Open. We don't know. Right? All we do know is that there is a time of volume coming in. So that's what we got to wait for. And when there's going to be volume in the market, then we may break above this resistance or we may break below the support. So that's where our trade is gonna be. So basically, let me just adjust the support up over here. And the reason why I'm adjusting the support up over here is because this is the most recent support. I had it down here, so I have to adjust it because we're creating a recent support over here. So now our range becomes a little bigger, right? Down towards this area here, around 24 pips away. So if we break below that support, not only we can fill this wick, but also we can continue moving down in this range. So we just need one candle to kind of like break below that area. Wow, see that? We didn't break below. We need this candle to close bearish. Now this is an entire range. This is like a no trade range over here. This candle is about to close. And we're going to see, okay, perfect. Candle's about to close. This is a new 1-hour candle. 1 hour is also creating a resistance up over here. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour candle is still forming. We're not sure where it's going to go. So all we do know is that on the smaller time frames, we have these ranges. We have a range above 133.300, and we have a range below 133. So that's all what we're waiting for over here, for price to either break support or break resistance. So let's see what happens here. This 30-minute candle is about to close, and we're going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Okay, 30-minute candle has closed. We're still ranging. Remember, we're still ranging, right? There's nothing happening at this point. Wow, still ranging over here. See this range? This is a 14, 15 pip range. Some people take trades in these small ranges, man. Don't take trades in small ranges. Take trades in big open ranges. Look at this range over here. It's like a 21, 22, 23 pip range. So we're waiting at this point. All right. Oh, we're coming close. We're coming close to support. Keep an eye on the time here, guys. We got 7 minutes left for this candle to close. We got to wait for this candle to close. We have to wait for this candle. Here's the thing. While we're waiting for the candle to close, at times we can miss the trade. And if we miss the trades at times, that's totally fine, because in your conquest to wait for the candle to close, to get a good entry, sometimes you will miss out on trades. And that's totally okay. You know, because we want good clean entries. Now look, price closed over here, where we don't know whether it's going to continue moving down or not. We don't know that, right? But we close below the support. Now we want some sort of a reaction in this area to continue down. Let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour candle is also closing below the support. Yeah, I guess if you can break below this 1-hour candle, we can probably continue down. But we want to look at the targets on the 4-hour, right? So looking at the 4-hour, what we can see is that if we continue breaking below, I think the first target we can identify is probably going to be, let me remove this area over here. It's a big fat zone here, kind of like. All right, so first target, I think we can target down over here because this was the most recent support created on the 4-hour. And if we start breaking below, I think that's a really good range. I mean, 33, 34 pips away. Yeah, let's focus on that. And also we're going to try to see if we can get an entry if we start breaking the low on the 30-minute here as well. Okay, we're coming up to this retest area. We want price to close bearish over here or kind of like do some sort of a retest for price to continue down. This is perfect. Perfect. But if we close back in the range, then we're going to have the same things happen that happened in the past 2 trades. So this is a very important thing right now. Hey, Najim, good morning. Najim walked in late. Probably he's in the West Coast. Yeah, and the West Coast is still pretty early. It's like 6 a.m. All right, 30-minute candle has closed. 30-minute candle has closed bullish, but it closed below the support. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute candle is also closing bearish over here, and it's a mess, right? 15-minute time frame. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame is still closing bullish over here. 30-minute. See now, I kind of want to take a sell, but at the same time, I want price to break below this low over here. And let's take a look on the 4-hour and see how far the target is. So target on the 4-hour is at 132,600, right? 132,600, maybe like, 132,700 as well could be a nice target. So let's take a look at that on 30-minute time frame. So 132,700 is probably right down over here. All right, based on the 4-hour time frame. So let's bring it down over here. Right, so if we wait for candle to break below the low on the 30-minute, then we have a 16 pip range. Okay. So right now we need some sort of another confirmation here. Because if we break the low on the 30-minute time frame, then we can have price moving bearish. And I think that would be a very, very good trade to execute on. Also, this 30-minute candle is coming down to a close. And as this candle comes down to a close, I think, oh yeah, look at that 15-minute here as well, man. This is perfect. This is perfect range for price to fall into. Around 15 to 20 pip range over here. What would you say about GJ on London session when 2 pairs are opening at the same time in line with your most recent? I don't know. Reading that question missed my entry over here. It's okay. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty good entry right over here. Going to go over around like 14 pips. And yeah, price should continue moving bearish at this point. Spread is also pretty high over here on this simulation. Okay, so 30-minute candle has closed bearish over here. This candle is also forming. Now, this is really, really important. The reason why this is important is because not only we have a resistance formed in the 30-minute time frame, but we also have a candle close confirmation. So remember what I talked about when this simulation started? We said that we're going to risk 2% on candle close confirmations, and we're going to risk 1% on impulse entry confirmations. So this is a candle close confirmation. At this point, we can add another 1% risk to make it a total 2%. Make sense? I guess we all can agree with that. So we can do another 2%. Perfect. We got 2% risk, candle close confirmation, anticipating price to fall down. And our target is around 132,700, right down over here. This candle is about to close. We're coming back up over here. We're waiting for the 30-minute candle. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. Ooh, 15-minute candle has closed bullish. 15-minute candle has closed bullish. So probably we're going to close partial over here, 50%. And we're going to let the other one run because it's still at break even at this point, right? Our other position is still at break even at this point. Oh, we're slowly coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down. Wow, look at that spread, man. 4 pips. 4 pip spread. I have no clue what's going on over here with this 4 pip spread. So this is actually really, really, really risky. So what I'm going to do is probably going to close partials on the other position here as well because, man, this is a 4 pip spread. This is news as well, USD news. Yeah, see, so one important thing to note is that look how these candles are not breaking the highs of the previous candles. This high right here, this high got respected, and now this candle has to respect the previous candle's high. So as long as these highs are respected, we can move down, and then that's going to turn the 4-hour candle bearish as well. Right, so we managed risk as news came in, spreads jumped up, and I guess we can continue moving down at this point. This candle is about to close. Can we see the 4-hour? Yep, 4-hour candle is about to close. We're going to take a look at that right now. Perfect. Now we have the 4-hour candle closing. Take a look on the 1-hour candle. 1-hour candle is closing bullish, but we're also closing below that support. Looking on the 4-hour, we are closing bearish, right? 4-hour is closing bearish after a huge rejection to the top, right? So I think this could possibly mean that we could continue moving down since we're closing bearish. But also we got these rejections happening as well. So probably want to manage my risk over here too. Let's manage risk here. Let's close 50% because, you know, price is ranging at this point. And since price is ranging, we want it to continue bearish here because we're closing below support. Man, so we ranged pre-New York. We ranged New York open, and we're moving into NYSE open now. Things are really, really choppy over here. Price wants to move down, doesn't want to move down. Got our 10 pips on the first position, secure that. Rest is still running. Man, we got caught in that consolidation over there. Rest one is also reaching the target here slowly, going to secure that. The only thing here was we managed our risk. Viciously, we managed our risk during that consolidation here. 4-hour candle is also moving down, which is also pretty good at this point now. Awesome. We moved down and rejected that level, and I guess that's it. That's the trade here we took. One trade, managed risk at this point here, and I think it ran really nice here. So let's move on to the next section here now. Oh, my son is awake too. Hi, Sinan. All right. Okay. So let's move on to Thursday. I think your son wants to come to the stream. No, he was actually banging on the door. What are you guys doing in there? All right. So, oh wow, look at that price still moving over here. Let's go towards, this is 8, 9. So this is 2 a.m. Eastern here again. And let's remove all this analysis over here. And we're going to take a look at the daily, the 4-hour, and then we're going to slowly move on to the smaller time frames. So let's take a look on the weekly. Weekly is moving up. We still have some range to fill on the weekly. Let's take a look on the daily. Daily is still moving bullish. Daily is respecting the previous low at this point. Let's take a look on the 4-hour. 4-hour is still rejecting that area. Right? If we're rejecting that area, we don't know whether price is gonna continue down, or I mean, we don't know that yet. But what we do see is that we rejected this area, so there could be an opportunity for price to continue down because now we have this clean range here to the left hand side. Let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. Let's remove all analysis here. From the 1-hour time frame, remove this, and what we can see on the 1-hour is I think we could be right on the sells because look, we're closing below the support, and now we have this range going all the way down towards 132,870. That could be a pretty good trade for price to come into. Yeah, that could be very nice. Let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame. So let's remove all analysis on the 30-minute time frame. So perfect. Yep, the stage is set here for sells, boys. If we get a candle closing below the low or breaking below the low, we have this clean 20 pip range for price to continue down into. Beautiful. Amazing counter trend trade over here. Awesome. So let's see how this forms up. Let's slow down the speed a little bit so we don't miss it. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. We're pretty good. 1-hour time frame, pretty good. Pretty good. Perfect. Perfect. We're breaking below the low. We're going to take an entry over here. Now, at this point, I'm not going to put my stops above the 30-minute candle, which is breaking, but I'm going to put my stops like above some. Okay, one moment here. Oh, nice. You want to watch some cartoons? Let's watch cartoons. All right. So the boss is gone. Okay. So um, I don't want to have my stop. Okay, so if I'm going to take a sell over here, I don't want my stop to be above this 30-minute candle because look, this stop is going to be around 6 to 7 pips, right? And it's a very, very small stop loss. Doesn't make any sense. But we would want it to have in the middle of this range right over here. Because if this candle is breaking the low, we're not expecting it to continue back in the range. We're expecting it to continue down and fill this range here because we have this clean traffic here to the left hand side. So this is going to be a, how big is this going to be? Like around 12 pip stop over here. We use a 12 pip stop, again, impulse entry. Yeah, that's it. We're going to anticipate it to continue down with the volume in pre-London. So we're about 2 pips, 3 pips, a little bit of a drawdown over here. It's still okay. The only thing is, we know, okay, so the 15-minute candle has closed. 15-minute candle has closed with the rejection. Probably going to close partial positions here because we closed with the rejection there. So we don't know whether it's going to continue back up or go down. So managed risk over there and closed half and letting the rest run. So let's go back to the 30-minute time frame since it's about to get closed. Oh, we got whacked out of this trade. Awesome. First loss over here. So now we're back in the range. I think we can give this trade a second chance with the candle closing bearish, and we're going to take a look at that idea now. Because if we, okay, so here's the thing, right? This candle closed below support, right? This candle broke below, but it closed at support. If this candle closes below support, then we can have the next candle continue moving down. But even if we can get a 15-minute candle closing at this area right here, then we can anticipate this entire candle to continue moving down. So that's what we're going to focus on now. Let's just remove all analysis over here. We're going to remove analysis, and then we're going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close, which is going to close in 15 minutes here. No, actually 2-3 minutes over here. There we go. 15-minute candle has closed. We look at the 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle has closed bearish. If the next candle starts breaking the low, then we can continue moving down to fill this wick. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we can say that okay, we're rejecting the strong rejection, the strong resistance for price to continue down. And then obviously 1-hour candle can go down, and a 30-minute candle can also continue moving bearish. So let's see here. 30-minute candle is still forming. We're waiting for it to continue down or close bearish. It's about to close soon. We're closing in 2 minutes, 1 minute before London open. There we go. Candle has closed. Man, this is a very delicate situation now. We have a 30-minute candle closing at this area. We have this range over here. Obviously, we can't take a trade in this range. We either want price to break above 133.300, or we want price to now break below this 30-minute low here for price to continue down towards, 132.880. So this is the London Open here now. Wow. Look at this thing here. Coming up towards resistance. But we're still respecting that high over there. Are we gonna break down? Are we gonna go up? This candle is now coming back down. And if we, now this is very important, right? Since we went up back in the range, obviously we couldn't take a trade in the range. We all can agree to that, right? We couldn't take a trade in that range. But if this candle is coming back down, and if it starts breaking the low, then the probability of it continuing bearish will start to increase at that point. So that's what I'm looking at this point. So looking at the 15-minute time frame, we're broken below that low. We're about to break this low here again on the 30-minute time frame. I think that's going to be our opportunity to take a sell at this point. Now, this is going to be a second chance given to our bias that we had. So this is second chance here that we'll be willing to give our trade. It's going to be around like a 15 pip stop. Going to take a sell position since we're breaking the low, and we're going to anticipate price to continue bearish. Oh boy. The reason you are doing 2-session simulations, are you going to trade? No, it's just for, someone requested it, so that's why I'm trying to do the London session. Perfect. So 30-minute candle has closed bearish. We closed below that area. Now there's a very high probability for this candle to continue moving bearish here as well. So we're going to stay in this trade over here. In terms of risk management, what we're going to focus on is that we will focus on this 15-minute candle to stay bearish. If it closes bullish, we're going to close partial positions at that point. But essentially, we're anticipating the volume in the London session to continue price moving bearish here. Nice, we're coming down. This candle is going to close here pretty soon, and then we can have a pretty nice trade going bearish here because we have this wick rejection, which becomes now a destination since candles are closing bearish. And then we also have the support with clean traffic to the left-hand side where price can come down into. It's like 20 pips away. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, nice. Look at that. 12, 14 pips in the bag. We're going to close positions here, close 80%. And that's it. We're going to let the rest run at stops at break even. Oh, got stopped out at break even. So this 4-hour candle is also coming down to a close. 1-hour candle will also come down to a close. See, what I'm thinking is if we're rejecting that whole area, then 4-hour should continue moving down towards the support, right? 132,690. I mean that's just where it should come down to, or even down towards what's this price? 132,600. Because if we're rejecting that heavy resistance there, so yeah. That's something that we're anticipating. That would mean that with volume, we should also continue down to this area here. So we're going to see if we can get another entry here with this 4-hour candle close, because this 4-hour candle is about to close in 30 minutes. Perfect. So we've broken below a support here. Now, this is how you determine a bias, right? Looking at the daily is obviously bullish, right? But, we're not going to go off of the daily. We're going to go off of the 4-hour. So 4-hour is now printing bearish after this rejection. We have this clean range to the left-hand side. We got 37 pip range, 40 pip range. So currently right now, based on the 4-hour, our bias is bearish. Now we got to look for certain scenarios on the smaller time frame to kind of like, what's the word? Confirm that bias, right? Look for evidence. So the only evidence we see here on the 1-hour time frame is that we created a support here, we broke the support, and now there's an opportunity for price to continue down. Maybe it went down to make a low. Now it wants to do a retest to continue down. So looking at a 30-minute time frame, that's what it seems like. Price broke support, came down, made a low, came back up. Maybe it wants to do a retest to continue down, break this low, and continue bearish in this 4-hour range. Right, so our bias is now based off of the 4-hour at this point, and we're looking for evidence on the small time frames. So either we create a resistance, a minor resistance, or we break the low. In both cases, I think we should be continuing bearish. Let's take a look at some news over here. There's probably no news here. Yeah, no news here. All right, we're breaking below the low. Now, this is the point where you anticipate volume to continue down. Hey, what's the sense behind runners since 80% of the time they get stopped out? Wouldn't it be better to close all thing? Yes, 80% of the time the runners get stopped out. But that 20% of the time when the runners keep on running, they give you 40 pip runs, 50 pip runs. So in my eyes, it's worth it, But if you think it's not worth it, then it's not worth it. But for me, leaving a runner is worth it. So we've broken below the low. Now we should continue moving bearish at this point. at least till 132,670. This 4-hour candle is also coming down to a close. 20% opportunity in case Boris says something to help. Yeah. You can re-enter. I would have gotten stopped out at break even and re-entered now. Oh, but the 4-hour candle is coming down to a close. And if the 4-hour candle is closing, that means that the next 4-hour candle can probably make it. So now, okay, let's take a look at this 4-hour candle now. Can we all agree that there's a higher probability for this 4-hour candle to continue down bearish? Right? I mean, just by looking at it, just by looking just at this specific situation, we all can agree there's a high probability for it to continue down to probably this range or to probably down over here, which is like 32, 33 pips. Perfect. That's what we know now, right? It can move down and we have this big ass range to move down. Now, we would need a lot of volume in the market for price to move down, because if we look to the left hand side on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, we see all this consolidation here. So we would need volume to push price down. So let's see if we can get some sort of an entries here on the 15-minute time frame or small time frames. All right. Can't really take a sell over here because I mean we could, but the 30-minute candles are giving some sort of a weird rejections here. Even if we calculate this risk, it's like 14, 15 pips away. I guess, yeah, I guess we can do that, right? I guess we can take an entry here. I mean, we had the support formed, and then this kind of broke the support, and we have this wick to fill and this range to fill on the 4-hour. Would make sense, right? Let's measure risk reward over here. So if our risk is, let's say, 15 pips and our reward is around 20 pips, yeah, it makes sense, and we'll take an entry here. So this is a candle close confirmation, so we're going to use 2%. Yeah, perfect. Makes sense. We're anticipating this to continue down based on the clean traffic through the left-hand side on the 4-hour time frame. So a little bit of a retracement is still fine. A little bit of a drawdown is still okay as long as you're managing risk. Let's take a look over here. All right, so this candle is about to come to close. 30-minute candle is about to close. We're looking at the 15-minute. 15-minute hasn't broken the high. As the 15-minute breaks the previous candle's high, we're going to close 50%. But it hasn't broken the high, so we're going to still stay in the trade. Okay, perfect. Close bearish. Now this 15-minute candle has also needs to respect the high of the previous 15-minute candle for it to continue bearish. And also if you look on the 4-hour time frame, it's now made like a little top wick, but it's now starting to move down a little bit. But now also volume from pre-New York is about to come in as well. And we're really anticipating the volume in pre-New York to continue price bearish. Let's speed it up here a little bit. Mate. Speed it up, mate. Candle's coming to a close. We really don't want these candles to break the high of the previous candle. Oh, the 30-minute is about to break. Oh, we've broken the high on the 30-minute time frame. Probably going to close 50% at this point, manage risk, and let the rest run. Oh, got stopped out. Is there a difference between having a particle at, I don't know what particle is, at 10 pips and then having a runner compared to move your entire stop position, you hit 10%? That's a very long question. Very long question here. Is there a difference between having a partial TP at 10 pips and then leaving a runner compared to moving your entire position to stop loss once you hit 10 pips? Yeah, I mean, in one condition you have partial running and the other one you have nothing running. So there's a difference between a partial and having nothing running. All right, so we rejected that area over there. We have rejected that area. This is 30-minute time frame. We're also creating a support at this point over here. And the 30-minute candle is also trying to do some sort of a retest here. I think this is our second opportunity to take a sell, right? I think this is our second opportunity right over here to take a sell, because if this candle is rejecting, I think we should have now continued move down. This is our second opportunity right over here. But I have to be careful. Have to be very careful. Yeah, that was a second opportunity because candle closed bearish after a little retest. This is also like a 10 pip move over here. And if we break below the support, I think we can continue moving bearish over here. Yeah, perfect. We're going to continue moving bearish at this point now. Not going to execute on this though, but we will continue bearish. The stops are going to be above this 30-minute candle, and we can anticipate this candle to break the support and continue down. This candle is coming down to close here, closer to NY open here as well. Beautiful. Look at that close. It's going to break the low, and we're off on our way down. I think Ted does it. Gold move stops to 10 pips, leaving the full position to run a stop out at 10 pips. Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, what I do is, oh wow, look at the spread, man. What's happening here? 6 pips. Is this Brexit? No idea. What I do is I secure 10 pips and then I put stops at break even. That's it. That's all what I do. If the runner goes towards where it wants to go, it goes there. If it stops me out, it stops me out. Wow, look at this volatility, man. Price breaking the highs, coming down to break the lows. Really, really, really volatile. But overall, the 4-hour is still forming nicely, coming down over here. Wow, if we break the support, we're going down. Probably we're going to go down towards, 132,490 then. 132,490, yeah, that's going to be a pretty good target if we continue breaking down, because this is our next support on the 4-hour time frame. So looking at the 30-minute, there's a lot of volume, a lot of volatility. Candles are just jumping up and down, so it's a good idea to just wait for the candle to close. In 3, 2, 1. Right there. This is the New York Open. We're obviously at a support at this time, and yeah, we're at the support over here. So we'll need to see some sort of a resistance forming, and if we can form a resistance, then we can continue moving down. All right, this is the 30-minute time frame. Price is moving up. NY open. Let's take a look on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute candles are also creating, let's draw some zones over here. We broke below this minor support. We're also creating this other minor support right over here. So if we break below this area, we can continue moving bearish. So trend is still bearish. This candle is about to close in like 10 minutes, 7 minutes. Now, we've broken below the low. Now there's a very high probability we're going to continue moving down. And this is going to be a trade. I think we can take this is going to be like a 15 pip stop for price to continue down towards 132. What was it? 132, 690, 132, 600, like 15 pips away. So this could be a very, very good opportunity to enter a sell and price to continue moving bearish. Like this. Looking at this 4-hour. Let's go towards the 1 hour. Let's go towards the 30 minutes. Look at the 15-minute time frame. This candle is about to close. Our stops are above that zone. They're also above this current wick here as well. Oh, wow. Man, this day is not easy at all. We're also above that support. There's a lot of volume in this New York session here as well. This candle's coming down to a close soon. And as we're moving down, I think we should continue moving bearish over here. We're about 2 pips in profit, closer to drawdowns. This 4-hour candle is also coming down to a close. We're breaking below the support over there. We're about to break below the low. We've broken below the low. Beautiful move over here. So we're breaking below. The 4-hour candle has reached this tip of the support. So we're going to close 90% over here. Wouldn't you close 50% after a 15-minute bullish close? Actually, you know what? I forgot about that. It moved so quick, I forgot about that. But the overall 30-minute was still bearish there. Let's take a look on the daily. Wow, look at the spread. 4 pips 3 pip spread, gonna close everything at this point. This was very difficult. It wasn't easy at all. It was very, very difficult. See, we reached that zone and now we're rejecting that zone. Why would you take this trade? Range is so small, and on the left there's a support probably only based on a 4 hour. Yes, so this trade we took based on the 4 hour. When this simulation started, this was only based on the 4 hour. So we looked at the 4 hour range, we looked at the 4 hour target, and that's where our target was, and then we executed on the smaller time frames. Yeah, so we took it based on the 4 hour, and wow, look at this continuing moving. In the last 10 minutes of this 4 hour, we're moving here. Nice. If we didn't get stopped out, actually, like, you know what? We closed the whole thing. Oh, yeah, we would have got stopped out here as well as price came up to do a retest. Nice move here. The daily candle has rejected that area there as well, which we had planned out. And nice. We're coming back down over here. Beautiful. So it took a bunch of trades. You know, some trades we took in a London session, some trades we took in a New York session. Overall, ending the week with the 4%, 4.5%. I think it's still pretty good doing 4% a week. You know, because if you put your money in the bank, man, the banks don't really give you that much. So, like, you know, slow and steady gains are going to help you a lot. You know, because if you have smaller accounts, let's say you have a $1,500 account or like $1,000 account, and you try to swing to the fences in the first week or the first month, the one loss can set you back a lot of days. You know, because you can spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks building your account by, like, you know, 2% a day, 1% a day, and then one bad day can put you back a lot of days. You know, so moving in towards the New Year's, I think that's something we'll have to keep in mind there a lot. And look, price came down to support, and now it's coming back up over here. I hope you all enjoyed this webinar. This was recorded. It's going to be in the database here in about a couple of hours. I think it's going to be a pretty big file, so it's going to take a while for it to upload. Oh wow, we're rejecting that area there. Would you mind showing your trade history for the simulation? Yes. So we're going to go over. So we're going to show the trade history right over here. Yeah, this is the history right over here. So you can see the wins were big, right? We had $7 win, $16 win. We had a $6 win, $6 loss, $4 loss. So losses were smaller than the wins. The wins were bigger, even though we had a few wins, few losses in a row, but still, like, you know, we made it out in profit here. Awesome. London session was very difficult. Because I haven't looked at London session at all, but we managed risk a lot. Managing risk is really important. Let's take a look at this graph. We have nice retests on the equity curve. Pretty nice. We had a little bit of a downtrend over here, but then we came back up on top with this last trade. So yeah, I guess it's pretty good. So awesome, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday morning. Oh, it wasn't recorded. It wasn't. Nah, just joking. It was recorded. All right, take care.